Hello, dear friends. Welcome back to this cozy little corner where stories come alive and where every life, no matter the age, carries wisdom worth sharing. Today, I want to share with you the powerful and deeply inspiring story of Maggie Sullivan. Her journey wasn't easy, but through every setback, she uncovered truths that changed her life. And along the way, Maggie discovered 8 silent habits, the kind that slowly wear us down, steal our energy, and quietly harm our health. Now she wants you to know them too, so you can break free before they take root. Let's walk beside Maggie for a moment, because sometimes the best lessons don't come from doctors or books. They come from someone who's been there and chose to rise. Cedar Hollow, a quaint town in Vermont, is a patchwork of maple-lined streets, rolling hills, and community spirit, where the air carries the scent of apple pie from local diners and church bells echo on Sunday mornings. Maggie Sullivan, a 68-year-old former librarian, lives in a cozy clapboard house with a garden she tends with love. After a health scare shakes her sense of invincibility, Maggie embarks on a journey to reclaim her vitality, guided by the wisdom of her neighbors and her own resilient spirit. This is her story, a testament to the power of change, no matter your age. The October sun hung low over Cedar Hollow, casting a golden glow across Maggie Sullivan's kitchen. The room was a haven of warmth, with gingham curtains fluttering at the window and a kettle humming softly on the stove. But Maggie sat at her oak table, her hands trembling as she clutched a doctor's report. The words blurred before her eyes: high blood pressure, borderline diabetes, elevated cholesterol. At 68, Maggie had always prided herself on her independence. Decades spent shelving books, raising 2 daughters, and tending her roses. Now, those stark numbers felt like a betrayal, a reminder that time was no longer on her side. Her daughter, Sarah, breezed in, her coat dusted with fallen leaves. "Mom, you look like you've seen a ghost," she said, setting a grocery bag on the counter. "What's wrong?" Maggie's voice was barely above a whisper. "It's the doctor's report, honey. My numbers, they're bad. Blood pressure, sugar, everything. I thought I was fine, but what if I'm not? What if I'm not here for you, for the grandkids?" Sarah slid into the chair beside her, her hand covering Maggie's. "Mom, you're still here, and you're tougher than anyone I know. Maybe this is a chance to take better care of yourself. Why don't you talk to folks around town? Betty's always at the rec center, and George is out there growing his prize pumpkins. They're older than you and full of life. Bet they've got some advice." Maggie managed a weak smile, but doubt gnawed at her. Her habits, salty snacks, late-night TV, skipping checkups, had seemed harmless, the comforts of a life well lived. Now they loomed like shadows, threatening the years she still wanted to claim. She pulled on her knit sweater, its familiar softness grounding her, and stepped outside. The crisp Vermont air stung her cheeks as she walked toward the town square, determined to find answers, to rewrite the script of her autumn years. Habit 1. Drowning in salt. Cedar Hollow's Farmers Market was a Saturday symphony of colors and scents. Ruby apples, golden loaves, and bundles of kale stacked high. Maggie wandered through the stalls, the chatter of neighbors wrapping around her like a quilt. At a booth piled with jars of homemade pickles, she spotted Betty Harper, a spry 72-year-old whose rosy cheeks defied her age. "Maggie Sullivan, you're a sight for sore eyes," Betty called, handing her a carrot stick. "What brings you out so early?" Maggie hesitated, then spilled her worries. "Betty, you're always so full of pep. What's your secret?" "I just got some bad news from the doctor, and I don't know where to start." Betty's eyes softened, but her voice was firm. "Oh, honey, I've been there. 10 years ago, my blood pressure was through the roof. Turned out I was drowning in salt, chips, canned soups, you name it. Doc said too much sodium strains your heart, bloats your body, even messes with your kidneys. People our age can't afford that." Maggie blinked, surprised. "Salt. I mean, I love my pretzels, my deli meats. Doesn't everyone?" "Not if you want to stick around," Betty said, pressing a bunch of fresh herbs into Maggie's hands. "The average American eats way too much salt, 3,400 milligrams a day, when we should aim for 1,500. I swapped salty snacks for veggies, started cooking with rosemary and garlic. Tastes better, and my numbers dropped. Try it, Maggie. Cut the salt, save your heart." Maggie nodded, her mind racing. Betty's words were a wake-up call, sharp but kind. That night, she rummaged through her pantry, tossing out canned soups and salty crackers. She roasted a chicken with lemon and thyme, the aroma filling her kitchen with promise. The meal was lighter, brighter, and as she ate, she felt a spark of control, a step toward healing. From then on, Maggie vowed to savor flavor without salt, her heart beating a little easier with each bite. Habit 2. Burning the midnight oil. The next day, Maggie visited George Miller, a 74-year-old farmer whose pumpkin patch was the pride of Cedar Hollow. She found him pruning vines, his flannel shirt rolled up despite the morning chill, his face etched with contentment. "George, you're out here dawn to dusk," Maggie said, leaning against a fence. "How do you keep going?" "I'm exhausted half the time, and I'm younger than you." George wiped his brow, his smile warm. "Used to be tired too, Maggie. Back when I'd stay up till 1 a.m. watching reruns. Then I had a dizzy spell, and the doc laid it out. Late nights mess with your body's rhythm, spike your blood pressure, even up your stroke risk. At our age, sleep's not optional, it's medicine." Maggie blushed, thinking of her own late-night habit, scrolling her phone or binging old sitcoms. "I figured retirement meant I could stay up. What's the harm?" "Plenty," George said, handing her a small pumpkin. "Your heart needs rest to repair. Your brain needs it to stay sharp. Studies say folks over 60 who skimp on sleep, less than 7 hours, double their risk of heart disease. I hit the hay by 10 now, wake up at 6, feeling like a new man. Try it. Turn off the screens. Maybe read a book. You'll feel the difference." Maggie took his advice to heart. That evening, she powered down her TV at 9 p.m., lit a lavender candle, and opened a novel she'd been meaning to read. The words lulled her, and by 10:30, she was asleep, dreaming of open fields. When she woke at dawn, her mind was clear, her body rested. Kicking the late-night habit felt like reclaiming stolen hours, a gift to her weary heart. Habit 3. Living like a statue. Cedar Hollow's rec center buzzed with activity, its gym echoing with the laughter of a senior exercise class. Maggie peeked in, spotting Clara Evans, a 70-year-old whirlwind, leading a group through gentle stretches. Clara's energy was infectious, her silver ponytail bouncing as she moved. "Maggie, get in here," Clara called, waving her over. "We're having too much fun without you." Maggie lingered at the door, self-conscious. "Clara, I'm not built for exercise. I get winded walking to the mailbox." Clara's laugh was kind, but firm. "That's exactly why you need this. I was a couch potato at 60. Back pain, creaky joints. Then I learned sitting all day is poison for folks our age. It weakens muscles, slows circulation, ups your risk of diabetes and heart trouble. Just 30 minutes of movement a day, walking, stretching, anything, can cut those risks in half. Maggie frowned, her hands fidgeting. I thought resting was better. Isn't exercise too much for us? Not at all, Clara said, guiding Maggie into a simple arm stretch. Your body's made to move, even at 68. Start small, a walk around the block, some chair yoga. It's not about the Olympics, it's about staying alive. She shared how her daily walks had banished her aches, her blood sugar steadying with each step. Maggie gave it a try, joining the class with hesitant steps. Her muscles protested, but as she moved, warmth spread through her limbs, a quiet strength awakening. Clara's words echoed. Movement wasn't punishment, it was freedom. That week, Maggie started walking the town's nature trail, the crunch of leaves underfoot, a reminder of her resilience. She wasn't running marathons, but she was moving, and that was enough. Habit 4. Ignoring thirst. At the town's monthly potluck, Maggie sat with Dr. Henry Brooks, a retired physician who volunteered at the community clinic. Over plates of homemade cornbread, she confessed her lingering fatigue, despite her new habits. "Maggie, how much water are you drinking?" Henry asked, his tone gentle but probing. Maggie shrugged, puzzled. "I drink coffee, tea, maybe some juice. Isn't that enough?" Henry shook his head. "Not quite. Folks over 60 often don't drink enough water. Dehydration sneaks up, especially as we age. It thickens your blood, strains your kidneys, even fogs your brain. You need about 50 to 70 ounces a day, more if you're active. Low water intake is linked to higher risks of urinary issues, even heart strain." Maggie's eyes widened. She'd never thought much about water, sipping only when parched. "I guess I just forget," she admitted. "Make it a habit," Henry said, handing her a reusable bottle from his bag. "Keep this with you. Sip every hour. Add a slice of lemon if you want flavor. Your body will thank you." Maggie took the bottle, its cool weight a reminder. She started carrying it everywhere, sipping between chores, during walks, even at book club. Within days, her skin felt softer, her energy steadier, her digestion smoother. Letting go of dehydration was like watering a wilted plant. She was blooming again. Habit 5. Glued to the couch. One crisp afternoon, Maggie visited Ellen Carter, a 71-year-old who taught knitting at the community center. Ellen's hands danced with needles, her posture straight despite hours of work. "Ellen, you never seem stiff or sore," Maggie said, admiring her ease. "What's your trick?" Ellen smiled, setting her knitting aside. "I don't let myself fossilize, Maggie. Used to sit for hours, knitting, watching TV, till my back screamed. Then I read that prolonged sitting's as bad as smoking for us older folks. It slows blood flow, weakens bones, spikes heart disease risk by 147% if you sit over 6 hours a day." Maggie winced, thinking of her own afternoons, lost to crosswords and game shows. "I thought sitting was relaxing." "It's a trap," Ellen said, standing to stretch. "Every 30 minutes, I get up, water the plants, fold laundry, do a quick twist. Keeps me limber, keeps my heart happy. Try it. Your body's not meant to be a statue." Maggie took the advice home, setting a timer to break up her sitting spells. She'd stand to dust a shelf, stretch by the window, or walk to her mailbox. Her lower back eased, her legs felt lighter, and a quiet energy replaced her sluggishness. Breaking the sitting habit was like unlocking a cage. She was free to move through her days. Habit 6. Skipping checkups. At the town library, Maggie ran into Tom Reynolds, a 75-year-old volunteer who'd once been her neighbor. Tom was shelving books with a steady hand, his glasses perched on his nose. "Tom, you're a machine," Maggie teased. "How do you stay so spry?" Tom chuckled, sliding a book into place. "Wasn't always, Maggie. I used to dodge doctor visits. Thought if I felt fine, I was fine. Then a routine check caught my high blood sugar early. Saved me from diabetes complications. Folks our age can't skip checkups. Silent killers like hypertension or cancer don't send invitations." Maggie shifted uncomfortably. "I hate doctors' offices. What if they find something bad?" "Then you fix it early," Tom said, his voice steady. "1 visit a year, blood work, eye exam, maybe a mammogram. Can add decades. It's not fear, it's power." Maggie booked an appointment the next day, her nerves jangling, but her resolve firm. The checkup revealed a vitamin D deficiency, easily fixed with supplements, and her doctor praised her improving numbers. Letting go of avoidance gave Maggie clarity, a map to navigate her health with confidence. Habit 7. Shutting out the world. One Sunday, Maggie attended a church social where she saw Louise Parker, a 73-year-old, who organized the event with boundless cheer. Louise's laughter filled the room, drawing people like moths to a flame. "Louise, you're the life of every party," Maggie said, sipping cider. "How do you stay so joyful?" Louise's smile softened. "Wasn't always, Maggie. After my sister passed, I wanted to hide away. But isolation's a thief. It steals your spirit, your health. Studies say loneliness hikes heart disease risk by 29%, stroke by 32%. So I started this social, joined a choir, called Old Friends. Connection's my lifeline." Maggie's throat tightened. She'd been pulling back, skipping book club, dodging calls, afraid of burdening others. "I thought alone time was peaceful," she said quietly. "Too much peace becomes silence," Louise said, squeezing her hand. "You don't need a crowd, just one conversation, one hug. Come sing with us next week." Maggie joined the choir, her rusty alto blending with others in hymns that lifted her soul. She hosted a small dinner for neighbors, their laughter echoing in her dining room. Releasing isolation was like opening a window. Fresh air rushed in, carrying hope. Habit 8. Neglecting the mind. At the town's meditation group, Maggie met Reverend Alice Gray, a 70-year-old pastor who led sessions with quiet grace. After a session, Maggie shared her lingering anxiety, the weight of her health fears. "Maggie, you're tending your body, but what about your mind?" Alice asked, her voice a balm. "Stress, worry, bottled up grief, they're poison for folks our age. Chronic stress raises cortisol, weakens immunity, even shortens life. Your spirit needs care too." Maggie sighed, her hands twisting. "I don't know how to stop worrying about aging, the kids, everything." Alice handed her a journal. "Try this. 10 minutes a day. Write what you're grateful for, or sit quietly, breathe deep, focus on now. Meditation cuts stress by 40%, helps you sleep, keeps your heart steady. It's not fixing the world, it's freeing yourself." Maggie started journaling, scribbling thanks for her roses, her daughter's calls, the sunrise. She sat on her porch, breathing slowly, letting worries drift like clouds. Her sleep deepened, her heart lighter. Letting go of mental neglect was like clearing fog. She could see the beauty of her life again. 3 months later, Maggie stood in her garden, pruning roses under a November sky. Her hands were steady, her breath even. Her latest checkup showed a transformed woman. Blood pressure normal, sugar stable, cholesterol down. But the real change was in her spirit, a radiance that lit her eyes, a strength that carried her through each day. Maggie had shed 8 harmful habits, each a weight lifted from her shoulders. She'd cut salt, her heart thanking her with every beat. She'd embraced sleep, waking, refreshed. Movement had replaced stagnation, her body humming with life. Water flowed through her, a quiet healer. Sitting gave way to action, her joints freer. Checkups became allies, not enemies. Connection banished loneliness, her home alive with voices. And her mind, once clouded, now shone with clarity. She wasn't flawless. Some days, she nibbled a salty chip or skipped a walk. But Maggie knew perfection wasn't the goal. Living was. At 68, she'd learned that aging wasn't a decline. It was a chance to grow, to savor, to thrive. As she clipped a rose, its petals soft against her fingers, she felt gratitude for Cedar Hollow, for Betty, George, Clara, and the others who'd lit her path. Maggie's story is more than one woman's journey. It's a call to everyone over 60, 70, or 80, and to those who love them. Maybe you're staring down a diagnosis, feeling the years creep into your bones. Maybe you're younger, thinking these days are far off. Wherever you stand, know this: your future is in your hands, shaped by the choices you make today. The 8 habits Maggie left behind aren't chains. They're habits you can break too. Stop drowning in salt. Season your life with herbs and health. Stop burning the midnight oil. Let sleep restore your soul. Stop living like a statue. Move, even if it's just a step, and feel your strength return. Stop ignoring thirst. Let water revive you. Stop gluing yourself to the couch. Stand, stretch, live. Stop skipping checkups. Knowledge is your shield. Stop shutting out the world. Open your heart to love. Stop neglecting your mind. Nurture it with peace and gratitude. These changes aren't about sacrifice. They're about freedom. They're about mornings where you wake with purpose, evenings filled with laughter, years that stretch long and full. You don't need to overhaul your life overnight. Start with one habit, one day, one choice. A walk around the park, a glass of water, a call to a friend. Those small acts ripple, building a life where you're not just aging, you're thriving. Maggie began with fear, but she found joy. You can too. Today, right now, take that first step. Toss out the salty snacks, turn off the TV early, book that doctor's visit. You're worth it. Your health, your dreams, your tomorrows. Let's make aging a triumph, a season of growth and grace, where every day is a chance to shine. And if Maggie's story has stirred something in you, if it's lit a spark of possibility, I invite you to join our community. This channel is a home for stories like hers, raw, real, and brimming with hope. To inspire you to live boldly at any age, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, and share this with someone who needs a nudge. Your support fuels us, letting us bring more tales, tips, and encouragement to brighten your path. Together, we can redefine what it means to grow older, vibrant, connected, unstoppable. Here's to you, to Maggie, to all of us. Let's embrace every moment and thrive.